he's like, do you want to hit with your racket again? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's see what this feels like.
I bet it felt.
It was like hitting with an a messy trampoline. I was like, what the racket is like, it feels like it's bending all
Yeah.
over the places. I mean, I was like,
Right.
this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is a complete mess. So you and I talk about rackets, strings, things like that often. I've been a Babolat user for, since second year of college. Babolat rackets have changed. I've changed. I've had some issues with my equipment, and I'm wondering at this ripe old age of 43, like, I know that I'm playing good ball. Is there something else out there for me that might be better for me right now?
Okay.
RPNY stands for Roman Prokes, New York. Roman Prokes is one of the top 5 probably racket technicians in the world. Has worked with the likes of, I think I wrote it down here, Andre Agassi, Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, McEnroe, Navratilova, Roddick, Francis Tiafoe. He was integral in Madison Keys' racket and string switch before she went on her run to win the US Open. So he is a bit of a whisperer, if you will. Like, he has all this experience and has the ability to see you as a player and get a good understanding for your game, and then translate that into the racket that you should be playing with, and then getting down into the string setup and that whole deal, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so Roman's it's a service that he offers, right? I did not go to New York. Roman has moved. He was lured away to Farm and Forge in Franklin, Tennessee, which you've probably started to hear about.
I've heard about it. I got some guys that I know that are in the performance USC high performance crew that were there.
Yeah, they were just there. Melio Dan was just there. Dasha was there a week or so before I was. We were texting about it. So I made the appointment for what they call the racket evaluation. Right. So I sent in some information, and Roman and his wife, like, their shop is now in this facility. This facility was
huge facility.
It's a $200 million facility.
Looks
billionaire investor who loves tennis. Just like, I just want this place to exist. Outdoor red clay courts, indoor courts. Like, I mean, I'm getting
common and everything. Yeah, no, I talked to the guy.
Gosh,
we did a USTA camp not long back. I was there with Angie Haynes. Was on the pod before. He broke the whole thing down, was giving us pictures and all the renderings. It looks beautiful.
You got to see it. You got to see it in person. So I sent him my information, like, this is how old I am, this is my playing level, this is my experience, it's like, I'm in pretty good shape, yada yada yada. This is what I've been hitting with, and what I'm looking for is like something where I can feel confident about letting it go and getting there. Like, when I'm rushed, specifically when I'm rushed by big hitters, like, can I still get the tip of the racket around? That's kind of like what I left him with via email. So I get there 15 minutes early, and I'm talking to him and his wife, Angelica. She's fantastic. I feel like just from talking to her, like, I feel like she was a player back in the day too. Like, I feel like she knows her stuff. So we're talking, he's asking me some more questions. He's got about 17 rackets already picked out.
Wow.
Right. It's him, another stringer on his staff there. And then he's like, okay, so you're going to be hitting with a pro. So, like, that's the other side of it is he has someone for you to hit with. And while you're hitting with them, he's going to be subbing out rackets and also getting feedback from that pro. So the pro is very, very, the hitter is very, very integral in this process, right? He or she has to be able to push you and also change styles, like run you hot, has to be able to make a lot of balls, right? Like, they need to be a wall with, like, sliders effectively. And then because the impact, the real big takeaway is not necessarily how I feel, but also what my ball is doing to the person. Exactly. And they need to be able to,
your ball's having on them.
They need to be able to articulate that and give it to Roman, who then, like, makes an adjustment and then gives me another racket. So of the 15 rackets, I end up going through about 10 of them. And so we go downstairs. He's like, all right, we're going to get started. He's like, you're gonna be hitting with former ATP 40 in the world, Tennys Sandgren.
Oh, no way!
I was like, so tennis works there now.
He's from Tennessee, so
he is from Tennessee. His brother Davey is Travis's age. So, like,
exactly.
So I remember he was the little prodigy everyone was talking about running around the tournaments, and then it worked out. But so I get out there and I'm like, okay, I'm hitting with Tennys Sandgren. This is gonna be fun. He's 6'3", huge.
We still got a lot of hair.
You know how age does it to us.
Right,
He got
right, right,
something.
right,
He's got
right.
enough. He's got enough.
Right, right.
So we get hitting. I've got my racket, my Babolat Puro 2023 100, and we get hitting like few balls. Didn't even start short. Just went straight to the baseline.
Sure.
Start hitting, and Tennys is like, oh, it's gonna be like that today. Like this guy can actually play. And so, because I'll go back a little bit. Roman's whole thing is like he equates tennis players to golfers.
Okay.
Golfers would never just go buy a racket off of. I mean, go buy a set of golf
100%
clubs,
agree.
just like off the rack. They
Right.
would go through a fitting session, right,
For
and
sure.
get the right
They
club.
call it a fitting. Or they
They
literally
literally call it a fitting. Get the right
Yeah.
clubs for me, and then make
For
them
sure.
fit for me, right?
Yeah.
Lengths, pitches, the whole deal, right?
Yep.
They get treated like they get amateur golfers and professional golfers get treated the same.
Oh,
But in the
100%.
tennis world, once you stop playing like junior tennis or college tennis, she's like people always say, "Oh, I used to play," and it's like, no. Roman firmly believes that when you are a tennis player, you are a tennis player all your life.
Yeah.
And
I like
as
it.
you change and as technology changes,
Yeah.
it's more fun to play when you have the right racket for you.
I couldn't agree more. Avail yourself to what the technology that's out there. Just
Exactly.
find the right what do they call it, cocktail.
Right. It's for
Yeah.
you. So we get started. I hit with my racket, I get warmed up about 5 minutes. And I'm hitting the ball well, TH. I'm like, part of this is tennis. Like the ball's in my pocket, and
Right.
it's got some heat on it, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm on it. Like I'm
Right.
on it. And I was like,
You've always played well with pace. That I'm sure that was
yeah,
actually
exactly.
that's
Exactly.
just what you needed.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm hitting the ball well today. This is
Yeah.
great. This is
Yeah.
great. All right. Swaps it out. He's like, and then like for the first 5 minutes, they're like, okay, obviously you're a pretty high level player even for your age. So like he's like, some of these rackets we're gonna steer away from.
Yeah.
And like if I had gone through this process myself, I would have been looking at the E zone because they're popular, or maybe the V core, yada yada yada. And he's like, no, you need less. You
Right.
need a control racket because you can create enough pop. You need a control racket that you can trust and feel. Right. So we end up going down this path. Like I hit with all the new Babolat 100, the new Pure Aero 98. I hit with
Strike
the
at all
Wilson.
or no?
No, not the Strike.
Okay.
Those are only two Babolat rackets I hit with. We went into the Wilson Blade, the new one, a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
That Wilson Python, that's not the Python, whatever that thing is. Hit with a couple different heads. Hit with a Slinko whiteout. Yo, shouts to Slinko. That's good. That's good stick.
It's a good racket. The blackout and the whiteout. It's both good rackets.
The whiteout was it was a near number 2.
Yeah.
Ended up with Head Speed Tour.
Yes,
the new one.
Yes. The
black one.
It's a great racket.
It's a great racket.
All black, shiny. It's basically a better, heavier version of the white. Yes, that's it. And that's the new one. Yeah,
it's the brand new one. Yeah, so this is the
because
first year
the
they've
other
had
one, the legend is all black. That's Novak's. And I think the tour is what Yannick, or at least was playing.
Yannick uses the old MP. And the
It's the
tour,
MP speed.
the tour speed just came over. They didn't sell
Yeah.
it in the States until this year. So this is a 16 by 19, 97 square inch.
Oh,
so
funny.
it's small, but I was hitting with it at about with a poly at about 50 pounds. And Roman's like, you get a shape poly in here, you can even drop down to 48. And that's what you said, right? And
I said before.
The difference between hitting with a racket like this, a control frame with a little more pop, versus my racket at 48, I went back at the end of the whole thing. He's like, do you want to hit with your racket again? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's see what this feels like.
I bet it felt.
It was like hitting with an a messy trampoline. I was like, what the racket is like. It feels like it's bending all over the places. I mean, I was like, this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is a complete mess. And I had a couple experiences over the last few weeks where I hit with some buddies and they both broke their strings. One of them uses a V core, the other one uses an E zone. And in both instances, they broke both of their rackets. I let them use mine, and the drop in ball quality from their racket to my racket right after, I was like, oh, that's what you're getting from me.
Right.
Maybe there's something about the racket.
That's right.
And then when I got my hands on this one, it was like, it was like Harry Potter. When you find the wand finds you.
The wand finds you. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy you went down in tension because I thought your tension was way too tight. And I'm also happy that you were having because it number one, you gotta be hitting well to get the feedback, right?
Yes.
I don't care
Yes.
how what you can do at that time, on that day. You want to get the most accurate feedback you can because like a fitting, it is no small investment, right? I mean, I know some of
It
these
was not. I'm not going to give their
golfers.
price because the price is listed online, but it was not. It was Racket's worth of time. Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
100%, 100%. And while it's enjoyment and it's quality and you're gonna have the racket, arguably for the next 3 to 5, it's still an investment, and I think that's why they take so much time and effort in the fitting in golf, and I think tennis do the same, and let me say this for the viewers and listeners that are still with us. Please, you may not be able to have, what's this gentleman's name?
Roman Prokes, and
Roman.
I'll
You
link
may
to
not be
the.
able to get Roman, I'm
Yeah,
sure you put it in the comments and whatnot, but
absolutely.
you may not have that ability or that time or what have you to go do that, but at least, at the very least, get with your club pro or get with somebody who knows what they're talking about and demo for at least, uh, I say 2 weeks for most average players, Alvin, because you gotta take the range of your tennis into consideration. You have to take into consideration strings. It may take you the first week just to narrow it down to 1 racket. And
Yeah.
then or 2. Then you've gotta narrow it down, "Okay, now let me play with this racket at my tension that I like," and
Yep.
maybe even a different type of string or slash a different tension that I'm used to playing with because, to your point, you're playing with a certain string with a certain type of racket that feels very different, even though you're used to it, right? You're
Yep.
used to how the ball hits with that string, not necessarily even that racket. Now you gotta get used to a new racket and string, and then you can't do that in the afternoon, and I can't tell you how many people I've seen, "Oh, I got a new racket. Hit great with it on Monday. Went out and bought 4 of them. And here it is Thursday, and they got a tournament on Saturday." I'm like, "Wow, why is he playing terrible?" Because you made a major decision,
It's a major
and
decision.
you're playing a tournament 4 days later. What were you thinking? And you'll eventually grow into the racket in 3 to 4 months, you know what I mean? But it just takes such a long time, and so the fact that you were playing well, plus had Roman, plus had tennis on the
Yeah.
other side of the net from you, you were able to condense that down within an hour or however long it took, right?
It was an hour-long session,
Yeah,
that you can do. There's varying lengths. I think you could do, like, for players above my level, so, like,
sure.
aspiring professional players, super high-end juniors, he'll do, like, 4 hours. He'll do, like, something in the morning. You find a racket. He also will customize the racket. We'll start messing with the specs a little bit to really
Right,
get it,
right.
like, down. Like,
Really dialed
my
in. Yeah,
the
really,
return on
really
investment there is not that high for me, but,
sure.
I think that's the biggest part is, like, you're not gonna be able to go through this process. The only thing that ever changed in this hour was the racket, and at about 30 minutes of, like, tennis just didn't miss,
Yeah.
which at a it was high tempo rally, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, my legs were cooked at about minute 25, and I'm like,
right.
"Oh, yeah, because he's not missing.
Yeah.
This is a lot of balls.
A Lot of
It's just a
balls,
lot
Alvin.
of balls."
Lot of
Um,
balls.
but being able to zero out all the factors, right? All the other variables.
Right,
And it's like, because if I were to demo 10 rackets,
right.
it would take me probably 2 months,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to play differently each
Yep.
day. My
Different players
opponent's
each
going to be
day.
different each day,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
Different courts. Like, I have
Sure,
courts that
yes,
are
sir.
fast that I hit at, I have courts that are slow that I hit at,
Yep,
right? I bring the balls, they're going to be different than what they, like, all the variables change the whole
they
experience.
do.
But to go through it quickly and get down to a set of rackets
Right.
that, like, I got down to 3, like, the one I chose, the Speed Tour, the Slinko Whiteout was next,
Yep.
and oddly enough, the new blade was right behind that.
I can see that. I can see
But
you Blade.
the kicker was, and this is where tennis became so valuable, he was able to put me in different situations out of my out of my comfort zone, like out
Right,
wide,
right,
up high, and those rackets I was not able to maneuver well enough,
right.
as well as I was with the Speed Tour, where I could still, like, I could flick at the bottom with that one. I could, if it was up top, I could get it out of the way. It was flexible enough to, like,
Sure.
just kind of slide behind it and still make it work.
Right.
Um, so I think it was invaluable, and I know that, like, I went through the whole process, and I was like, "I'll give me 3.
Yeah,
I'm taking 3 with me."
100%.
He's gonna have to ship them to me because he will match them for you as well, which is
Right.
also
So that way you
invaluable.
got 3 of the
I
exact
got
same.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, even with my spread of 6 right now, I know one of them has a heavier swing weight than the other 2, and I bought it at a separate time. So it's a thing. It's a thing. Dropping weight is, like,
Key.
string tension, pardon me, or dropping string tensions is really, really
Key.
valuable if you have the right racket. It
Right
does not
racket
work.
and string,
Yeah.
polys especially, you gotta take a good poly down if you swing at the ball. You know
if
what I
you
mean?
swing at the ball. So that was the difference between the
Yeah.
speed and my Aero 100 is like if I swing if I drop the tension to 48, which I've done, and I swing fast,
Oh,
like just like I can't get it to do what it's supposed to do. And Roman's giving me kind of the history of the pure Aero. Like I was like 2010, I picked it up for the first time and I loved it. He's like, yeah, that 2010, 2011 was perfect,
yeah.
and it's been a little
It's
wobbly since.
modified since.
And the feedback that I'm getting from the current version
Yes.
matches what he's telling me that he's talked to hundreds of players about.
Right.
And then tennis is saying the same thing. It's like it just won't lift when you lift.
Yep.
It always comes through a window a lot tighter over the net than
Exactly.
you
Which
want it to
makes you
be,
hit faster than you really want to.
and then you sail,
Exactly.
and then you sail. It's like, but with this one, it's like it's I can go flat, I can go heavy,
Right.
and it's what my input is being matched in output,
Right.
and so
Not guesswork.
not guesswork, not
Exactly.
guesswork.
Oh,
So
I'm so happy for you.
I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So I went and picked up a demo because mine are he has to ship mine to me. So I picked up a demo from Serious Tennis, shouts to Serious Tennis,
Yeah.
on Friday and got out and hit with it. It's gonna be a little bit of like, getting used to, like I
Sure.
still can't slice backhand is like when it's on, it's
Yep.
there, but like finding out where that's like where that clutch pops, like
Yep.
you need to let it go.
Is it lower?
Um,
Is it higher in the racket? Yeah.
right, yeah, all that
You
stuff you
almost
gotta,
need to go out and do a day of, as they would say in golf, a day of just chipping and putting with it.
yeah.
Just a lot of slices, a lot of drop shots, a lot of can openers just to kind of get the feel. I will also tell you, and this is just the tennis side of that, I find the head racket benefits racket speed. So if you're trying to feel and finesse, the arrow to me is actually one of the best slicing rackets for an oversized I've ever played with.
Yeah, yep,
It volleys very true, ironically,
yeah.
for a racket that big. And at the same time, you can barely hit it and it'll slice okay. You can slice it fast, it'll bite. You can drop shot okay with it if you have decent feel. The head rackets in general, if you have racket speed, the head rewards you. And if you have a poly, even more so. You almost like your drop shots have to be hit fairly fast. I mean, you got almost
I
hack it a
carved a
little bit.
few on Friday and I was just like, oh
Oh,
snap.
and
Like,
it'll bite phenomenal, but if
oh
you kinda
yeah.
block, it's a little listless, it's just kinda liftless, whatever the word is. It doesn't do anything, so you can't even your volley, you might need to give it a little bit of extra on the volley.
I
It's
gotta find
weird.
the volley. I haven't found the like
Yeah,
where does it
you
want to
almost
be
gotta
on the
give it
volley.
just a short slice in a sense. It's from what I've got a lot of kids changing rackets. I have one that just changed to the gravity, one just changed, two of them that just changed to the one, I don't know if it's the tour, it might be the speed. It's
MP.
the what's I thought the heavy one is the tour. Is that
The heaviest one is the pro.
the pro?
It's a
Sorry, thank you.
pro, and then
That's
the
it.
tour, and then the MP.
Right, and one of them had just had, and one of my players got the legend. They got
The
the
blacked out
speed,
one.
the
Yep.
all blacked out one. So so I've hit with them myself. So I had a little more knowledge, and I still like the old school I still like the old school prestiges myself. I can't hit with them anymore because I'm not as strong and not as mobile anymore. But I've come down to the radical, and now shoot, I might be looking for an old blue bab. Don't sleep. You know what I mean?
Hey,
That's
it's
the way
not a
I am
bad
now.
stick, man. It's
You
not
know
a
what
bad.
I'm saying? The
If
blue
I were
bag was still
feeding,
money.
I'd be on
So
that blue bab.
I'm going the other way now. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying it's funny how the right stick is just and I think that's the new thing, isn't it, Alvin? You shouldn't have to make the stick work anymore. And
Right.
you should find the stick that works for you.